Should be ready. Here goes. That was that. And so it begins. Oh, let me put this down. It's crazy. Oh my god. Ah, shit. What a mess I've made. So you can't, no, maybe you can see it, but I cut my fingers all the way across practicing this before I even got on. So I have no idea how it went, so I don't want to know. I'm sure everyone's just going crazy on the chat going like, what the hell are you doing? And that's okay. As you can see, I still have the vocal mic from my practice, but that's neither here nor there. Hold on 1 second here. I know. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This while I get everything ready. No. No. That's not what... No, because it wasn't supposed to play that. I was trying to switch cameras and stuff, and I triggered something from the last two two streams ago. I don't know. Oh gosh, everything is messed up. Okay, so the cameras are messed up. I messed up. Everything is like messed up. So we're gonna have a messed up sort of stream, but I do have some cool stuff to play. But first, as always, yeah, that's a strange camera angle. Can we fix this? Can we? Oh, wait. So, oh, uh, yeah, a little. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Um, so yeah, I'm wearing this shirt. There's only two red ones. I'm wearing one of them, and somebody got the other one in San Antonio. God, it's been that long. Oh my God. So now I'm all rusty, of course. Hi, Mai. Hi, Danny. Hi, Scott. Hi, Claudio. Good to see you there, Claudio. Joaquin, Wendy, Danielle, Sue Vargas, Max Pazos on YouTube, Austin, Hero Protagonist, Jorge, Lorenita, Noel, Lalo. Good to see you too, Lalo. Alfonso. Nice. We got a nice group of people tuning in. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. It's my first stream since the December shows from the 21st, the 26th, and then I went to Chicago and did a show on the 3rd. A lot to unpack because now I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't talked about any of this stuff. I'm going to move the mic. Sorry. This will make it a lot easier to look at the camera in the chat and talk. Otherwise, I'll be like this all night. So this is much better. Hi there, Steve. You missed the diary version of a Christmas song, but you know, you guys can always play it tomorrow, or I'm gonna have to try to record that proper because ow, that hurt. Yeah, I cut myself there and here, and it like here. See if I can show you. Can you see it? I cut myself there, and I cut myself there, and you can tell I'm bleeding. Playing bass is hard. So yeah. So Wendy's asking me if we purchased a shirt, when will it be shipped out? As a matter of fact, I will answer that question after the first song that I'm going to play. But so whenever I go and do these tours, these short little stint tours, I always ask that people, my Abox fam, to put down the songs that you want me to play. And so I take that kind of serious. So I set up, for example, um, all the different playlists that people kind of suggest, and I think, maybe that set's doable, and I can do that song, maybe not that one. So as it always happens, at the very last minute, a lot of people started to request certain songs for the set that I had not planned on at all, so they got left off. So of course, everybody was like, "Hey, you said you would play everything that's on the, well, I can't play everything, but there was a few that I thought, man, I should have played that one." So tonight I'm going to play all the songs that people had requested that I play at the shows that I didn't. Um, but there were some notable things that I did do at the shows that were kind of cool. So if you were there, you kind of will remember what some of those things were. But anyway, I'm happy to be back. It's been a rough time since I returned from the tours, and I'll get into that. It's a bit of a explanation, and let's see. I have notes, so we'll get into each topic and all that good stuff as we go. But for now, I'm gonna play one of the songs that a lot of people kept asking for. And I just didn't play it. But you got to understand, though, that the reason that I don't play this one often is because this one's really hard to sing live, period. Um, and as I've gotten older, this one's probably the one of the toughest ones to sing live. So although people like this song, um, I I'm terrified of playing this song live sometimes. So I have to do a lot of practicing and improvising before I do this one live. So I'm going to start with that one. And while that's happening, I'll show you what arrived yesterday. Here we go. Hope this works. I hear a sound in the corridor, a screaming child I can't ignore. Goes on and on and on. I press my ears, I can't make it go away. Do we understand that this is life? Do we understand anything? Take my heart and understand. Take my heart. Oh, wow. Oops. No, 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 no. Okay. Something's going on here that I got to figure out. Um, okay. Thank you. It's trying to go ahead and do all the things it's not supposed to do. And I'm like a mess tonight. I'm such a mess. Okay. So, the first topic of the evening, which, by the way, I'm trying to. So, this is how unorganized I've been for the last couple of weeks since I've returned from my last show. I bought a calendar. I can't find it. Like, I can't find the the one thing that I got to help me organize, I could not find. And on that calendar, I have the show dates. So if you ask me now, I don't have them. So I will post them because they're not coming until February anyway. So we're a little ahead of time and the holidays and all that. So, you know. But in all honesty, there are shows coming up. I am going to be in Mexico City in February of next year and also El Centro. And there's a possible Long Island slash New Jersey thing that might happen. I can't give those dates away yet because they're not set in stone, but being worked on. So 2023 is going to start off pretty good. I'm glad I don't have shows in January because I want to finish the album, and it's driving me crazy. If I don't finish this record, I'm going to go mad. Like, I'm going to go insane. So anyway, so this so yes, how shall I begin? So, yes, the shirts arrived. They arrived yesterday. These are all the shirts that people from Chicago weren't able to get because they didn't arrive on time. And for those that wanted shirts that were in El Paso, and I ran out. So they've arrived. There's not that many, and some of them are already gone. So I'm going to be going through all the orders and all that stuff and shipping them all out next week. I need to find like a nice little blank card that I can like do some doodling in there and, you know, put some personal note or something for you guys because you waited a little longer for these, but and I'm going to order even more. So, yeah, go for it. Um so yeah, right? Um uh That's so funny. Ren says, this is almost as good as making a flyer without the date and plastering it around town. Yes, I did do that quite a bit in the beginning. You'll find your dates when you aren't looking for them. Yeah, this is true, but um, there's a lot in that little calendar. For example, certain deadlines that I set for myself. What the heck? Wow, everything's missing. Where did it all go? There's like a bunch of stuff I wanted to show you guys, but I can't even find them now. Wow. Is it all gone? Oh. So this right here is basically my album notes of everything that has to be done so that the record is done. And most of it is art and manufacturing, you know, that kind of thing, except for mastering, which is a really complex thing to do. For such a simple album, it's amazing that the mastering session for this is going to be one of the hardest ones I've ever done. So it didn't help. Like, I totally failed this week. I failed. So I got back from Chicago, did a little bit of ear retraining because, you know, if you've been doing a lot of shows where everything's loud, your ears are fatigued. It takes time to kind of come back to earth after tours, right? So I wanted to get the ears a little bit healthier. I wanted to like make sure that there was no sinus pressure because that changes the way you hear things. A lot of little interesting things. But I got the flu the minute I got back. Yes, that flu. And, or a flu, I should say, because I still have my sense of taste. So it's a flu. And then I got bronchitis, which was nice, right by that Friday. Then my ears got plugged up. And then come this Monday, when the ears finally popped, I got a migraine that lasted 4 days, which was not fun at all. But it was an epic fail because it meant that every single day I was basically twiddling my thumbs and not getting much of anything done because I couldn't look at a screen. I couldn't read. It was a mess. So, very depressing. Don't like to admit things like this, but yeah, stuff like that definitely brings me down. But I'm getting better. Everything's clearing up. There's a little bit of a cough left, but the ears are retuning themselves, and which means I should be ready for mastering on Monday again. I'm going to do everything I can not to jinx it this weekend by doing anything too crazy or, anything that could get me sick or, you know, yeah. Yeah, like Mai says, being sick is frustrating when you have creating to do. In this case, though, it's grunt work, but I just couldn't get it done. I couldn't stare at a screen. Every time I would stare at the screen long enough, it would just come back and with force. So, like you may have noticed, I came into Twitter, then left Twitter, then came in, and I would leave, drop some random comments, and drop out of everything. I think I even missed um, on Object.com. There was the year in review thing. I haven't even done that yet because I was basically offline for most of the week. So, kind of sucky. Doesn't make me happy, but at least I have detailed notes. My final running order is set to paper. It makes sense now. And I will be able to get back into the mastering phase on Monday. And, you know, now that all that said, the shows were really amazing. Each one was as different as the other. So I'm not going to lie, all three shows were awesome. I had a really good time at all of them. Um, I particularly enjoyed, of course, the last one because it's the last one, and you're gonna go all out and go crazy and do whatever is gonna happen, and that's kind of what happened. But I can't say it was my favorite because the truth is, every time I think of all three nights, they each had their moments of glory, and not even my glory. It was fan glory, but it was just really cool to see you guys out there, and I don't know. I really enjoyed it, so I don't want you to think I was like down on anything. I'm not. I really enjoyed. Yeah, Brent says San Antonio was super awesome. It was. I enjoyed that one quite a bit, and we had a full film crew there. For those of you that don't know, I'm in some sort of episode slash movie slash something. I don't know what it is yet, and I'm not supposed to talk about it, but there was a full film crew that showed up at San Antonio and was filming. And I had a different film crew that I'm going to hopefully connect with the first film crew in El Paso. And in Chicago, I didn't have a film crew, but I did do a lot of filming with my 8mm. So it's going to be fun to turn all that in and see what happens. So that's kind of cool. Ayrton says on Facebook, come back to Peru. I'd love to. Hopefully that'll happen soon. But yeah, so anyway, I'm as usual talking too much. So let's play a demo. So this was a song that I was not expecting people to request really. And it's not that I can't do this song, it's that I hadn't practiced it at all. And so last minute, I tried to practice it for like maybe playing it in Chicago, but I chickened out at the last minute. I knew I wouldn't be able to get away with it if I couldn't remember the words. And I kept tripping up on the words. So it's one that I don't, I love doing, but in the last couple of tours, it's not one of the songs that has come up. But it was funny that this one showed up on the playlist that everybody wanted me to play, and I'm like, oh my God, why this song that I didn't practice is the one they want? So here's the song that didn't make the set. And anyways, Moon, and this, the demo, by the way.
Looking out my window, I could swear I feel your hands holding mine on your wedding I know you are far away.
So yeah, that was the demo version of Wedding Day, which apparently my son gave to one of his classmates way back in the day, and he's on the chat. I thought that was funny. Not my son, his classmate. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, a long time ago, indeed. A long time ago, indeed. Um, so that's funny. I must have, if I was upset that he gave you the record, it was probably because it was a demo or something that wasn't supposed to leave the studio. But that's kind of cool that Andre did that now. Ha! Huh? That's awesome. Well, thank you, Lokai. So, oh, I love Record Rack, by the way. Yes, of course I remember the Record Rack. Wendy, Bill. Ah, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So, yeah, so Wedding Day I didn't do, which is kind of a shame because I like the live version a lot. And we have like two of them, two different ones. And both are cool, but I got to practice. And I was just messing it up like royally. So it was a drag that I didn't get to do it. But what's funny is that in the San Antonio show, I wound up doing like something totally new and off the cuff right as I opened the show. Um, and Dead Stars made it to all three sets, which is really cool that that happened. I was happy about that um, because sometimes when you play newer things, it's difficult because you're like, you know, that the fans want to hear these particular albums that they're very used to, and it's hard to bring in things that are newer or new-ish. So, kind of had to get my nerve up to do some of that, but it worked, and it wound up working really well, particularly in San Antonio. Although, and I'm not going to give it away, but there was a hint of something from the new album that I only played in El Paso, but I'm not going to tell you what it was. But there's something that I did in El Paso that's going to make sense later. I promise. But anyway, so yeah, the week was pretty much an abject failure. I came back, got sick, ears got compressed so that basically I sounded like this to myself. So I figured I wouldn't be able to master any music because everything was going to sound weird to me. But right as I was starting to feel better, I thought I would listen to at least the record and, you know, do my running order and some of the things that I'd done. And I was like, whoa, this is good. It's coming out all right. So that was good. It wasn't one of those things where I came back from it, listened to it, and found all the mistakes, because you'll do that. It's one of the things I don't like about leaving things for too long because obviously what's going to happen is you're going to come back to the material and then you're going to just dissect it. Now, look, you're going to dissect the material a year later, you're going to dissect it 20 years later, and so forth. Every time you hear something after you've released it, always has a flaw of some sort that you wish you could correct. Um, so it's good if you're almost about to finish a record that you don't dissect it and destroy it. And I'm happy to say that that did not happen. Being sick and all did not change my judgment of the songs and their order, so that made me happy. So now all I have to do is like get my shit together and set aside mastering time because it's going to be complicated. Um, because the versions that I'm going to release are a little different depending on, you know, I think I am streaming on Facebook as well. Yes, I am actually, but the sound is much better on YouTube. I'm just saying the sound is much, much better on YouTube and I don't get dinged. Facebook tends to try to mute tracks and whatnot. And, I stream just so people are aware. But if you're tuning in on Facebook, I would highly recommend that you come over to the YouTube side and subscribe and do all that jazz because it's so much. It sounds so much better on YouTube. But yes, I can see your chats. And um, Hank says she says you were super funny at the show. Wait, which show are you talking about? Hank on YouTube. Which did I miss that chat? Because it's like streaming by, so I'm like the chat literally goes by so fast that I can barely read them. Um, Chicago. Yeah, no, Chicago was a funny show because it's a strange thing. So I'm gonna tell you what happened to me in Chicago. So the crowd was first of all it was sold out, so it was jam packed. And at first I thought the crowd's sort of quiet. Yes, technically Berwyn, that is correct. Um, Berwyn. So it was fun, but I was kind of nervous because I felt like the crowd was like too much anticipation to just get the peace songs over with, which, it's kind of a drag because if you're doing those and you get them out of the way, then pretty much the show's over in many cases because those favorite things have to be kind of spread out kind of like the history, right? You got to do new stuff, bring in an intermediate, bring a peace song in. But it's like some people want to hear the entire peace record all in that first half hour, and it's a little nerve-wracking because like I say, once you do that, then what? Then it becomes like, well, now we knew kind of where we were. So anyway, Tim says it's because I wasn't there. You're absolutely right, Tim. You're right. Although I did enjoy that show quite a bit. One of the cool things that happened at that show was that had my new setup on stage, which was very different than the other two shows. For the Chicago show, I actually had a floor tom on stage and cymbals and the ladder. So I was playing a little bit more intricate things, or trying to anyway. Um, so it was fun. So I hope somebody got photos of that stuff. I know yeah, ladder. There was a ladder, but there was also a drum on stage and some other stuff. So it was kind of fun. Um, I'm not sure because California's weird. Like I don't know if I'm going to get anything going on in California this year, but or sorry, in the coming year, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try because it would be fun to play SoCal because then I don't have to do anything. I just like put my gear in the car, drive to the gig, go home. So that's kind of fun, and I never get to do that. It's always traveling. So I mean, not that I'm complaining, but it's just the way it is. I don't do any shows that are local, so it just feels strange not to do shows in your own backyard. You know what I mean? Although if I had a house and not an apartment, I probably would do shows in my backyard. I bet you I would do something like that. I would be nutty enough to do something like that. But yeah. Oh well, Tim, I'm just letting you know. In Chicago, I did do automatons, and I think the version that I did in Chicago is really cool. Um, so that was kind of cool. Uh, TMT. What's weird about playing a show in California? Well, it's because we didn't get a lot of airplay here. So it's also the way the clubs do things here. It's everything's pay to play. Like I have to, and it's not that I have anything against doing the legwork. It's that traditionally every time we've done it, it hasn't been as like the way we would have liked it. There was a couple of shows we did in Anaheim that were really cool. Fullerton, of course, the 80s clubs in Bellflower. We've done that a couple of times. Those have been really successful. So I would probably do those again. But you know, Hank on YouTube asks, "What is the significance of the ladder?" It is from the Hope album. Um, the ladder shows up officially um during the Hope album. You are correct. But it was in my art for a long time. I kind of look at ladders like levels one ascends or descends into. I think of them as like psychological levels. Um, Sometimes they take on the form of people, figures, ghosts, but for the most part, they're supposed to represent. And I'm saying this, but in all honest truth, I can't even get behind the meaning 100%. But the ladders tend to be like states of mind kind of thing, and so for whatever reason, I find that I can always get a ladder on stage, and I use it as a percussion device, um, which is kind of fun. So, but I broke my drumsticks on this last tour, so I hit it pretty hard too. But yeah, so the ladder becomes one of these weird forms that just shows up in my art a lot. So definitely, you can see ladders everywhere. Ladder there, ladder. But even the shadow forms are ladders. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me. Ladders. Oh man, Wendy. So my glow drumsticks, one of them got stolen, and I basically gave the other one away. So I have to buy more of those. Gotta find them again. Because I like the hot pink ones. I don't know why, but I just did. Or is it metaphorical, meaning the ladder? Absolutely. Yes. Haha, the ice cream machine. That's funny, Jason. Well, the latter sort of takes its place quite a bit. Um, and that's right. The ladders do make a big A on stage. So all these functional forms. But you should see backstage. You should see what it's like backstage during sound check when I finally bring up the ladder because it's not on my rider, right? And the reason it's not on my rider is that and for those of you that don't know what a rider is, I'll explain. A rider is like the basic technical and backstage requirements that the venue has to have ready for the artist. So it could be, the sound system and all this stuff. And I used to have the ladder on there. Um, but I had to take it off because I would get all these emails. What's the ladder for? You can't be climbing the ladder. Please do not say that you need a ladder so you can jump off of it. Um, so everything would become about the ladder. So I took it off the rider. And so now what happens is when I show up, I'll just start looking around backstage and I'll say, "Hey, can I have this ladder and put it on stage?" And usually they'll give me a weird look and I'm like, "I won't climb it. I just need it to be sort of like a just up there with me." And then they'll allow it, which is interesting. So it changed the way that I have to deal with the backstage stuff. But anyway, and it's something I don't have to carry. So wherever I go, there's usually a ladder because they use these things to fix lighting and whatnot. And everybody thinks the stage is still being set up, which I think is hilarious too. So anyway, so much about nothing. So this song I had practiced. So I had totally practiced this song and I had it in the bag, but I didn't put it into the set list or the computer or bring any of its backings because no one had requested it. So I was like, well, nobody's requested it, so why bother? Now you have to understand that when I'm up there, I have what I call screen time, which is basically everything that I've got that I can possibly play or that I've practiced is in front of me. So there's only a finite room. It fits about, I want to say about 28 songs. Maybe I can push it to 30, but I try to leave some spaces so that I can see certain things so that as I'm scrolling, using one of the controllers, I can see where things are. So anything past 28 songs, I'm like, I'll leave them off the list if no one's requested it, you know. So this was one of those. It was off the list. And then I don't know, like a day before I left for El Paso, people started requesting this one heavy, and I was like, oh man, yet another song I'm not going to play that, you know, everybody wants to hear. So this is that song. So let's see, what do I got? Oh, wait, the whole screen just went black. What happened? Oops. I I messed up. That's what happened. All right. Let's play. And here it is. This is from Worth as well. So funny. Um, just as a matter of consequence, my favorite version is the version that we have for live shows. And I don't know what the heck happened to that camera, but it went nuts. So we'll switch. And you can hit that bell and subscribe and all that other stuff that that little screen on the bottom is telling you to do. But anyway, um, yeah, no, the version of Soldier and Child that I love best is actually our live version. Um, so that one, like I said, I had practiced it. I had done it at least in three of the rehearsals, and I thought maybe someone's gonna request it, but no one did. So that by the time I got to, like I said, El Paso and someone wanted it, like, and I'm talking like I was checking Twitter like maybe an hour or two before, and then it started to pop up, and I was like, oh no. So of course, and that ruined it for Chicago as well. So I didn't do that particular song. Although, again, that one, well, that one's not that hard to sing. So I kind of have that one in the bag. But yeah, Decades, not so easy. So I kind of avoid that one a little bit. We even tried a version where we changed the key and we wound up not even liking it. So, oh, you requested Space, did you? Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know that I would do that. I don't know. One day we'll try it. We'll see. Um, it has a lot to do with like not just singing the song, but can I play something? How much does it take to, you know, get it across? There's a few things, for example, that I'll venture to confess. Um, if the song has a lot of backing vocals, that's difficult because obviously I'm up there by myself. So of course I could cheat and have, you know, backing vocals magically appear, right? And that would be fine. I know artists that are solo artists that do that, where they'll sing and they have their backing vocals, or they'll, you know, have a harmonizing machine that does it. But I'm not really into that. So I'd rather the crowd sing it, and we try to get the harmony right, or to actually have someone sing it with me. Obviously, that's another thing. But you know, so some of them are difficult. If there's a lot of backing vocals, I feel a little bit, you know, although When We Lie does well, even though it does. So it's kind of interesting to me. Will says, it was great seeing you at Sam's Burger Joint. I actually love that venue. I will say this, the sound, after all three shows, the sound definitely goes to Sam's Burger Joint. The sound was stellar at that place. It's one of the reasons why I love playing there. The sound system is just amazing. And you know how crazy this is? When I got to Sam's and I did sound check, the um, the engineer John basically pulled everything up from the last gig, and he says, "I think I got everything right." And I don't know. I spoke into the mic and I was like, "Done." It was just perfect. So, you know, like, yeah, the sound there is unbelievable. Yep, like Mai says, many artists love the sound at Sam's. And yes, Robbie Wasabi was wonderful. In fact, uh, I'll show you how wonderful he was in a minute. Or no, not in a minute. Towards the end, I'll show you why he was so wonderful. But right? Brent, that's funny. I don't know if I want to say that, but yeah, that comment was priceless. I don't want to, in case he's watching, I don't want to say anything bad, but yeah, I think you're right about that particular comment. But man, you know what's funny about that? Tim asks, "How were the burgers?" The burgers there are amazing, but I didn't get to eat them because I by the time I was done with the set and everything, the burger joint half of the venue was closed. So I missed out on the burgers. They have pretty awesome burgers, I will say. But this time out, I did not get to enjoy it. Yeah, Robbie Wasabi was someone that I know from back in the day, and he opened the show in San Antonio, and he was a lot of fun, man. He changed the direction of my set a little bit because I had to start way differently than I thought I would. But that was a fun show because of Robbie. He was awesome. He was a lot of fun, man. Um, so so you Ulysses you Usilitos says you are an icon of Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. People love you very much. Your songs were like anthems at some point. Aw, thank you. Around 94, he came and it was totally full and all the people sang. I remember those days. They were fun. Um, yeah, recently someone sent me a flyer where yeah, I played with Mana in Mexicali and so yeah, returning to Mexico is going to be fun, man. I'm going to enjoy that very much. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also looking forward to finishing this damn record. I have to finish this record, man. I do. You don't know how badly I want to get this done. Only because I feel like until I do, I can't work on other things. I feel like it kind of hinders my flow, which is interesting because I'm gonna bring up a funny topic when I come back. All right, so I'll play another song and then I'll come back. Um, and I'll be right back. So I'm gonna turn on the overhead. We'll go for the moon. So you guys can stare at the. Well, that's weird. Only the moon? There's the studio. Nice. So this particular song is a Christmas song. It's an unreleased Christmas song. Um, some fans have it, but this goes kind of far back into the catalog. So there's two Christmas songs, believe it or not. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking in the. Never mind. Hold on. I'm really messing up tonight. I have to fix all the cameras because all the cameras are set up for me standing up and singing. Because if you remember, the last thing I did on the stream was a vocal thing. So it's all messed up, man. every camera's literally pointing at a different area of the room. So it's like trying to figure out like where everything is right now. I'm like, did I mess up this much in the last couple of weeks? Yes. Failure. I failed. I failed. This whole week has been like failure on my shoulders, and it just sucks when you feel that way. But it does. It will get better. I promise. But yeah. So anyway, back in the day, we did think about recording two Christmas songs. So I wrote two completely different, one is considered a Christmas song, but it isn't. But I'll play that one too before the end of the night. But this song in particular, um, I wrote for my youngest daughter that was a baby at the time. And so this was the first Christmas song in earnest that I wrote. It's short. So while it's playing, I'm going to run and do something and then come back. So once again, sorry about that, but I have to do it this way. Moon. And this is called Go to Sleep in My Arms.
Go to sleep, little girl in my arms. Push away all of life's simple charms. Tomorrow you'll wake up and to your surprise, under the tree with your beautiful eyes, everyone is waiting for you to fall. The land of dreams will soon give you a call. Tomorrow you'll listen to birds as they sing. Think of the flowers and presents they'll bring. Go to sleep, little girl in my arms. With this blanket, I'll keep you from harm. You know, Father loves you more than these words. Everyone quiet, let's go to bed.
So yeah, that was the live one. Oh, what the hell happened to this camera? Look at this. This is all screwed up. Yeah, let's not use this one. All right. So so yeah, yeah, see? Representing. Yeah, he gave me a shirt. So I told him I'm gonna wear it on the next stream. So here we are. I'm wearing the Robbie Wasabi. Yeah. It was good. It was so fun. That was a really fun show. It's still fresh in my head. They all are. But that one in particular is fresh in my head because it's the first time that I've ever really had a film crew like following me around, uh, backstage, on stage, during sound check, while I was playing, even after the show while we were doing the live t-shirt thing, which was kind of funny. But yeah, that was like pretty cool, man. I really enjoyed it. So yes, I'm sporting my Robbie shirt and proud of it. So yeah, uh, well, I hope it was fun. Will, I hope it was good in the end. But so yeah, so it was fun, and you know, just I don't know, those two shows were really special. Just that little bit of finality for the end of the year, you know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this footage. I honestly don't know. It's like I said, I can't. I'm not supposed to talk about it because it's not all done. But let me tell you, the interview that we did in Austin was amazing, and I had a lot of fun on that interview, and it looks really good. And I saw some of the footage, just tiniest bits from the cameras after the you know, the San Antonio show, and it's going to look really cool. I just don't know what, when, or what, or no title that I can give you yet. Let's just say there's a lot of artists involved, a lot of cool electronic music involved, and it's an amazing thing to be part of it. Don't know what's going to happen. Um, you know, so but it's one of those things that like I'm honored that I'm there. And if anything, I'm going to have some really awesome footage to release. So it was nice to kind of plan out ahead and take my funny modded camera lens with me so that I could shoot a completely different angle that I normally would. And that was fun too. So I'm going to send all that footage off. That's happening. That's another thing I need to do is like I couldn't stare at screens this past week, so I couldn't even look at footage, which bugged the shit out of me. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was a bit of a rough one, man, coming back. But I am better, getting better, and it will be fine. Um, Mastering record is next week. And then right after that's done, I'm sending it off. So we'll see what happens. Um, but quite happy at the moment that we're here. And I missed this too, by the way. I wanted to stream so badly from the shows themselves, and that proved to be impossible. Although, was it El Paso that I streamed from my phone? Although it was probably really bad because it was not even planned, but there was something that happened there. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to play you another Christmas song that I wrote way back in the day. Notice that they're not like the standards, they're just odd Christmas songs. So this was another one of those. This was a weird one because it turned out to be like lyrically turned out to be quite a sad song. So then we're like, a sad Christmas song? Who wants a sad Christmas song? So we kind of like ditched it. But so this is a Christmas song that I think I want to say this is 1994 that this was recorded. I will have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure this is 1994. It predates Electrodelica and it's right after Hope. So, technically speaking. But yeah. So this song is called The Sad Christmas Song. Very aptly named.
In all of the world, you could be anywhere, but I am glad you're here. I can honestly say I have been all alone, tired of waiting for the snow. Because it's Christmas, lovely Christmas. And as we sleep, we hope with joyful dreams, the kind that made us clowns. The way we laugh, the tears we hide, the joy we bring, the tales we weave, the silence that we keep. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
It's funny, you get the ASMR aspect because I couldn't mute. So I'm like trying to be quiet, and all I can hear is like the shuffling of everything that's going on in this room. So hope it's not too distracting, but studio's messed up, man. It's totally messed up because it was prepped for mastering and for last minute writing, and half the studio is in my bag from the tours. So, oh, that's nice of you, Austin. Austin posted the link to Robbie Wasabi's webpage. But yeah, so it was fun. It was fun having him on on that show. Um, but yeah, not to say that El Paso wasn't fun because that was sold out. That was funny, by the way, because in a quirk of fate, um, well, let me back up. So here's a funny tale of sorts. So if it's around Halloween time, right? You know that Oingo Boingo or the Oingo Boingo like bands play around Halloween time. Or the Misfits are known for playing during Halloween. So for some reason, for whatever reason, Abox has the reputation of playing around Thanksgiving time, which is funny because Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday and it's one that sometimes I'd rather be home, but it hasn't worked out in like the last, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, that basically I'm out during the Thanksgiving weekend. So there I was in El Paso, and in a quirk of fate, I wound up on Thanksgiving Day by myself, and I was like, "What am I gonna do?" Like, I know I could have probably leaned on some Abox fam and said, "Hey, I'm by myself in El Paso, and let me go to your house for Thanksgiving," and it would have been fine. I know that that would have been cool, but then I would have been like, I don't like the idea of like now I'm the center of attention at someone's Halloween at someone's Thanksgiving day, and it's like kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like taking attention away from the family people and all that stuff going on. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that person. So I spent Thanksgiving by myself, but it was very interesting because what I decided to do was I got up early that day in El Paso. I took my camera and I went downtown and basically it was deserted. So I just took a lot of cool pictures and things, which I'm still going through all my footage because there's a big post I was planning on, putting some of the pictures I'd taken because I like them. Um, like more on the NFT material side of things because I was being, very creative with angles and whatnot. So I wanted to try some stuff basically. And so I was like, there it is. I have Thanksgiving by myself. It's going to be fun. And I wound up having dinner at a restaurant in downtown El Paso, which is really funny. Um, because it was like this super, I'm just telling you the truth here, but it was this super fancy schmancy restaurant. Everyone's dressed to the nines. And in like these parties of like five, six, you know what I mean? Like these are people that are out to celebrate Thanksgiving. And there I am at a table all by myself, just enjoying myself. Like, sure, give me the bread. Yes, I'll take some wine. Sure, I'll try that. So it was really funny. To me, it was funny, but I could see that people were like looking at me like, dude's by himself. How lonely. It's just funny to me because I wasn't really lonely. I knew that the next day I would be celebrating the day after Thanksgiving with like, 1,000 fans at a show, and so I wasn't sad at all, but it was just funny how it was in that context of that week. So all I wanted to do, thank you, Mai. That's funny. Me doing this. See, that would have been fun for the film crew, right? I'm gonna be spending Thanksgiving at Mai's house, and I'm gonna wash dishes after. That would have been good for the movie. So, so anyway, it wound up being really cool, and I wound up having a really fun time in El Paso. And the only thing that I was sorry for was not staying longer because I think I would have enjoyed staying an extra few days. So next year, I'm gonna plan that a little bit different. But apparently, I'm already booked for next year around Thanksgiving in almost the same places, which is really funny. It's already happening. So plan ahead. So funny. But I know. There's a lot of amazing places around El Paso. Last time I went driving, So, anywho, ah, I'm gonna play a song now that again, one of the ones that was requested that I didn't do. And this one's an odd one because uh this particular song, when people request it, it's not that it's difficult to sing. It's not that. It's that the verses are sang in my lower register. So it's harder to project this vocal. And so what would happen is in the old days, I would tell Danya to kind of double me in certain places where her voice would be one octave up and it would project just a little bit more. So I thought, so it made the song better in this case. But when doing it live by myself and singing the verses in the lower register, it's a little harder. And so I've been kind of leaving it off the sets, but it's not because I don't like the song. I love the song, but it's just, it doesn't always work out. So this one's one that I hadn't practiced at all because I thought no one's going to request this anyway. And of course, two people there, five people there, six people here. And then, finally in Chicago, I could hear some people yelling it out. And I'm like, damn it, I should have practiced that song, which just goes to show you there's 300 songs and there's always an oddball that sticks out, right? And this is the oddball. So I'm going to play that song and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. By the way, you can ask me just about anything and interact with me on this thing and ask me whatever question you like. Doesn't have to be about shows. It doesn't have to be about Abox. You can ask me about the weather, and I'll give you the weather if it's possible. But I had a few topics, but they're all kind of going out the window now because it seems like we're heading into like sort of weird Christmas territory, which is makes sense because it's next week, which means I don't even know if I'm going to be. Can someone tell me when the 24th is? I'll have to look at a calendar. But anyway, but yeah, yes, Brent is correct. Once at the church and then the Lizard Lounge, which is no more. Yep, those were among the last ones. Yeah, the 24th is Saturday, which means the 23rd is Friday, which is also probably the last day. Can we talk about Kanye? Oh my God. Tim, tell me you really want to talk about Kanye. Oh my God. Hi. So the 23rd, as I was saying, I might not be able to stream because that's the last day that I have to do any shopping for folks. So I don't know. I'm going to try. I'll try to stream on the 23rd, but I can't promise. Ah, but yeah, but Tim, go ahead, ask. What's your question about? Yay. Ah, is it? That's funny. Yeah, he has. He's gone incredibly crazy right now. That's where Kanye is right now. He's gone cuckoo nuts. And what can I say? That is what happens when you're under the influence of so many different human beings trying to run your life and giving you crappy information. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. I just gotta say, I just hope he figures out that I know what he's trying to say, but he's just not saying it correctly in any way, shape, or form, and it's just backfiring. Will asks me, have I ever hung out with New Order? Nope, that has not happened. I wish it would have happened, but it has not. Um, Hope April says, what is your favorite childhood Christmas gift? Ah, that's a good one. My favorite gift ever when I was growing up was The very first robot that I ever got that was a wind up robot, I actually like, you know, I am not going to repeat that, Kim. I mean, Tim. That's funny though. My God, anyone who watches these chats is going to just like crack up. But yeah, I'm not repeating that. But yeah, I know. So Brent's saying that's an insane shopping day to go on the 23rd. I know it is, but uh I'm behind. I'm behind on everything. So I have to kind of do catch up this week. So this week is all about trying to get that record mastered, get all the last minute shopping in, try to get all the last minute, family things in because I'll have people visiting after the holidays. So my daughter's coming, so it's going to be really fun, but at the same time it's hectic to get everything ready. So this next week's going to be a tough one. So I'm going to try to like get everything done, and I can't promise a stream next week. So we'll see. I'll do the best I can, but I'm not promising. Um, so let's see, where are we? Did we play the? Yeah, we played that, and then we played blah blah blah. Where there it is. Oh yeah. So we were talking about another song that I got requested a lot that I didn't play, and this one's interesting. Oh Will, that just killed me. You're gonna smoke brisket for 22 hours. That's like a party that I would invite myself to. I'm joking. Not really, but I am. But anyway, this song was requested a lot, and the only reason that I didn't do it once again was because it's one of those that requires my lower register, and it doesn't project. So sometimes people say you cut out during that song or something, and it's funny, but that's just what happens when we do this one live. So unless I change the key and go higher, it doesn't quite. I don't know. For whatever reason, I didn't do it. Okay, but it was requested a lot. So this is one of the ones that was not in the last set. Um, so I'll turn on the overhead, and you guys can hear it. Here we go.
Every single day, I'll give you my heart, I'll give you my soul. Every single day, I'll give you my heart, I'll give you my soul.
She kept she kept your cat, Tim. Hmm. Hmm. No, it just transmutes. You're right, Brent. But yeah, it's funny because now when I think of that song, I always think of fans. But yeah, so a lot of interesting comments and questions on this last segment, which is kind of cool because I only have truly one song left to play, and we've got like time to kill in a weird way. So I will explain a certain things that have come up, certain topics. Difficult question. How does one convince their employer that you need time off on a weekend to catch a band play a show in Mexico City? Oh, and throw a little cash in so you can afford the flight. Oh, I can dream. Yeah, Steve. I don't know how to answer that question. Um, no, and Tim, yes, I imagined it was something like that. Tim says, to be fair, my cat bonded with her cat. So yeah, I've got to leave the cats together, even though the other cats can't stay together. So fair enough. So the nerdy thing about that song is there's a snare in that song that I used quite a bit on Hope in slightly different ways, but it's a funny one because everyone thinks that it's a Simmons snare and it's not. It's a synthesized snare, but what makes that snare snap is that I put a 12 by 12 piece of plywood on the ground, put a microphone close to the plywood, and I bounced a basketball on it. And the basketball made this weird toonk sound. And that wound up being the front end of that snare. And it wound up being the snare that gets used on Answer Me. It gets used on Where's Love and Happiness. It's the same snare that we used on Every Single Day. And I missed that snare because I thought I saved it somewhere and I didn't. So the only way to get it back is to recreate it and resample it back into an older sampler because something about the way the MPC samples at 12-bit crunched it in just the right way, and I was never able to get that sound again. So, ugh, bugs the crap out of me that I can't have that. It's my own snare, and I don't have it. Ah, Steve says it's all about the rarely seen every single day video and the slide. So, on the chat, someone said, "Hey, you can probably do the stream, like do a family stream." And sadly, I cannot because it's a dangerous move for me. And it's interesting because it brings up this interesting subject of this whole doxing thing that's going on with Elon Musk. Love him or hate him, because I'm not here to judge whether you like him or you don't like him. But my own opinion on this subject is doxing is illegal. You should not be able to say where someone is standing right in real time. After the fact, meaning so and so was here dining at this restaurant, no problem. But so and so is right here, right now. And if you want to get them, this is the time to get them. That's a much different story. And that can have dangerous consequences. And I saw the video. Some guy jumps on his car and his kid's in the car. So I think that journalists and reporters that are doing that sort of thing, meaning if you're working for CNN or the New York Times and you're doxing someone, you're actually committing a crime and you shouldn't be doing that. It's okay after the fact. In other words, I was there I spoke to Elon. This is what he thinks of X, Y, and Z, and he was here, blah, blah, blah. That's different. But if you're going to dox someone in real time where they could get hurt or killed, especially if they're with their family, that's messed up and nobody should do that. I don't care what reason. Like I wouldn't wish that on AOC. I wouldn't wish that on any politician, even the ones I don't like. It's just that sets up those scenarios where you get into a lot of trouble. And this is one of the reasons why I can't do certain things where I'm going to be live at a certain place and meet me here. And because I have, unfortunately, a couple of nut jobs that would probably do me harm. And it's true. So I would not be able to real time, like, say, hey, I'm going to be at X and X place to take some photos if you want to join me. I've loved to do stuff like that. I would want to do stuff like that, but I feel that, you know, it's a dangerous move. So I don't do it. And the other reason I don't do family streams or anything of that sort is because every time I do, the nut jobs seem to ascend onto my family and start sending, like, my sister, my brother, close friends, like really strange stuff, and it's stupid. It's a dumb thing to do at this point. Most of it, like, I don't really care anymore. Like it just goes right past my head. I don't give it any attention. However, in this case, because it was brought up with all this doxing thing that's been going on, I see it as a very dangerous move to make doxing legal. That I don't think is a good move. It's going to protect. It's not going to protect the sanctity. Sanctity. I didn't know if I said that right, but I can't say that word. Um, you won't be able to protect your family, and you wouldn't want someone just showing up at your job just because somebody doesn't like you and decided that people should go to your job and, like, harass you at work. That's messed up. So, you know, um, you know, and yeah, it's funny. I agree with you, Brent. So, you know, but again, it's not about me liking or not liking Elon Musk, or liking or not liking certain aspects of Twitter. It has nothing to do with that. Like, I can set all that aside. I just think that doxing someone, and that means to physically give away their location in real time, particularly when there's people that would do them harm, I think that's wrong and you shouldn't do it. And I especially think that's wrong of people who are supposed to uphold certain moral values as journalists. I don't think it's fair that the New York Times um, reporters are doing that and then complaining and trying to, like, mess up Twitter. I feel like that's really stupid, first of all. It's like you have the opportunity to grow up and be a better journalist and really give news. And this is what you're going to do: you're going to tell crazy people where this man is showing up at an airport with his child and then expect to keep your account. I don't think so. I think I think that, yeah, I agree with you, Will. I think the current dislike for Elon is very misplaced in this area. He's doing some good stuff by clearing all the crap, and we're going to have honest and good debates, and I think that's good. But even if it goes sour and the site goes to shit and you decide, hey, I don't want to be on Twitter anymore, cool, that's fine too. But to put someone in physical danger just because you don't like them, that's messed up. Don't do that stuff. Nobody should do that. I wouldn't do that to anybody. And I would expect that no one would do it to me. But I can tell you firsthand that I know what it's like to be stalked and to be physically threatened, And so there are certain things about my private life that I have to kind of keep very private and not say where I am. Or, you may notice that whenever I post, I don't tend to post locations. I don't tend to post anything that has to do with family. Like, so if I go visit my sister, or if I'm like with my brother or anything like that, we tend to not post those kind of photos because it makes the cuckoo nuts come out and do stupid things. So for me, I think that I think, Tim, you have it right. I'm going to read this, Tim. You are now famous, Tim. I only use Twitter to whore myself to celebrities and trying to get them to wish me happy birthday on my birthday. Claude caught me doing it and wished me happy birthday, and that was the best birthday wish ever. That's good, Tim. Oh, gosh. But anyway, that's why I don't do streams from like family events and stuff. I did it a long time ago. If you were around 2009 or so, I remember doing like a live thing from my family's house, and all of us basically said Merry Christmas to all the fans, but from my house. And it was my whole family, and the band was there and everything. But I feel like that stuff, it doesn't help. Um, and in some cases, like I said, causes undue harm that doesn't need to be there. So I avoid it now, which is sad because I used to be really close to, I liked that aspect of it a lot. So I totally understand like where all this is coming from, but you know, yeah, see? Tim says, I seem to remember you and Gary cooking a steak together and arguing about it. I think it was Milanesa actually, but yeah, that we used to post stuff like that, but a long time ago. Then things got crazy and we couldn't do it anymore. Had to take a drink. Anyhow, um, I hope you've been enjoying this odd, very, very odd stream. But so that was the one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing is just because I've been quiet on the NFT side and Bitcoin and all that stuff, that doesn't mean I'm off of it. I'm not off the subject. It's just that everything's taking such a bloodbath that I don't feel like I have anything to say to add to that conversation. Although I'm glad they arrested that SBF character. I'm glad they arrested his ass. Um, but you know, it's one of those things where I'm still bullish on all that stuff. I still want to mint things. I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what because I believe in it. But not in the way that most people think just yet. So in the coming weeks, I'll open up about all this more. I'm gonna get into it a little bit more, especially as the album and things roll around because there's a lot of interesting and fun ways to make, you know, TMT makes us think, do you still think there's hope for crypto to turn around? Well, I'm going to put it to you this way. I didn't pay much attention to crypto in 2014 when I should have. And by the 2017 bull run, and this is a true story, I did the math, I would have made $8 million dollars in 2014 had I done a few funny moves before the run in 2017, and I didn't do it then. And in 2017, I didn't take advantage of the bull run then, and I figured out that had I taken advantage of that bull run, I would probably have gained about 4, maybe $5 million. That's a big deal. So, and that's just money. Of course, it's money, but it's the utility aspect. I didn't know what Bitcoin could really do. I didn't really think about smart contracts and what they could do. I didn't think about um, how. art could be preserved forever on a blockchain. These are things that I wasn't paying attention to back in 2014. There are things that I'm starting to pay more attention to now. And what I'm seeing is that it definitely has a future. There is no way that it doesn't have a future. In fact, if I can be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, um, it has a bright future because if the world goes completely automated CBDC, which means that government controls your money and everything about your money, then you're going to want something that they can't touch because that's the danger is that once they control everything, your freedom's doomed. So, crypto is this one of these things that saves us from the CBDCs. Now, the government wants you to think it's the same thing. It's not. In crypto, I control my keys. I control my wallet. No one can take the money from me that I don't want them to take. I can store my Bitcoin on a piece of paper. I can store it on a USB drive. No one can touch it. There's something there that once I kind of get through to people, they're going to understand because the government, you know, we're going to be paying taxes on smaller and smaller transactions as the next few years roll in. And it's going to be every little thing. So they're going to nickel and dime you to death. So CBDCs are going to allow, yeah, like Will says, they're going to allow the government to literally starve you. So crypto at least is a way of having some secure assets somewhere else, so that if let's just say it, if the shit hits the fan, then at least you can convert things to cash at whim. And yes, you can convert to cash at whim. In fact, hold on, let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something that I use on the road all the time, which is hilarious. And I'm shilling for Coinbase right now, which is funny. So this is not financial advice, but this is my Coinbase Visa card filled with Tezos. And, you know, LAX doesn't know that. The airport doesn't know that. All they know is that this is a Visa card. So when I go in and I pop this sucker in and buy my coffee or do whatever, I'm actually using my crypto as dollars and it's converting on the spot. So I can keep as much as I want on that card. Um, so the reality is I'm paying for everything with my crypto. And what's cool about that too is that if someone were to steal that card, it's actually faster for me to cancel that card than it is to cancel a Visa card. I would log on to my Coinbase, say, take that card out, done. Nobody would be able to touch my crypto. Or even better, I just move the crypto out of the card, and that means that the card now has no money. So when they try to use it, it would just basically say that there's no money on this card. So yeah, you can totally use that. Um, Bitcoin uses the Lightning Network, which I don't know if you've seen this yet, but yeah, you do have to report it in taxes. You do have to report it, but there are going to be loopholes. And look, I'm not gonna be shy about it. Find those loopholes. Use those loopholes because once CBDC comes in, let me put it to you this way. The rich people aren't going to be paying taxes on their stuff. They're never going to. It's a pipe dream if you think that they're going to go after those people. They're not. They're going to leave them alone. It's you they're going to go after. You. So, like, come on. So anyway, I don't shill crypto because I want to make a buck off you and I'm telling you to buy my coin and I have never done any of that. The only thing I do in crypto is Tezos, which I love, and I do it because I love art. So I buy art with Tezos, I store it with Tezos, and I use Tezos to do my normal stuff when I'm on the road, pay for restaurants and whatnot with that money. And it's almost like a bartering system because I'm selling art. It goes into my card, and that's cool because I can now use that to buy coffee. So it's all good. So yeah, it's not a scam. The parts that are scammy, so I'm gonna give you that too, since we're here and we're talking about it. The part that's scammy is when there's a coin that comes out and everyone jumps on that coin and you see all the celebrities jumping on that coin and then suddenly that coin goes away. That's the scammy stuff because it has no use. There's nothing there other than the perceived value. I'm not talking about the NFT thing because it's different. I'm talking about coins. Like, I don't know if you know this, but Kim Kardashian got fined some crazy amount of money because she pumped a coin and then dumped it. So, yeah, all her fans bought those coins, made her rich, and then they dumped it. That kind of stuff, I don't condone. And I would never do that. My kind of pumping is to tell you to buy Bitcoin so that you will be safe and you will be secure because I want you to be free. So, that is my reason for like showing you the way of these different things because they are alternatives to the current system that we're in. So especially if you're one of those people that are like down with capitalism, I'm not one of those, but let's just say if you're like one of those people that's like I want a great equalizer, I want blah blah blah, ideology X here, right? Whatever that is, that's crypto because at least it will level the playing field for everyone. So that's a good thing. Um, so we got to be careful and we got to be smart, like Eric says. And be ungovernable is a big one, you know? So, anyway, so this is a funny thing that I discovered the other day. And I'm just going to share this funny trivia. And then, of course, I'll play the last song and then, this thing is over. So, yes, smaller governments is good. But did you know this is like trivia? I posted this on Twitter and nobody got it. So, what modern word that we know that we use every single day, what modern word literally means the dead speaking? Like, do any of you know what this word is that literally means that the dead should speak or the dead are speaking? Do you know what that word is? Put it in the chat. I want to see if you know before I say it. It's very interesting how the meaning of words and where they come from has a lot to say as to what those words really mean. So, think about what I'm saying. The dead speaking, or dead talking, or the deceased talking. Like, what word do you think that is? And yet, is a word that we use every single day. So, here's the word. The word is corporation. It comes from two root words. One is corpus, which means dead body, basically, or corpse as we know it. It's a dead body. And oration, which is to speak or to orate, to speak publicly. So a corporation is a dead entity speaking for itself. That is the technical definition of a corporation. Isn't that interesting? So there's a lot more to unpack in that small bit of language there. But what's interesting to me is that, you know, crypto in and of itself isn't evil. There's nothing wrong with you having your own money that you spend between you and someone else. And why is it that we always have to give things to the government. Like where did this come from? Where did this idea come from? Taxation. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay your taxes. That's not what I'm saying. But I find it interesting that we do all these things without questioning it. And then when alternatives come around, it's hard to see how an alternative could actually replace such a system, but in many cases it has. So, anyway, here's what you got to do. Avoid CBDCs, all right? Avoid it. And start collecting some Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, but start collecting it, because someday you might need it. And so it would be good to have money stashed away somewhere that nobody can touch but you. That's all I'll say about that. Okay. Brent says, I've heard that having your name in all caps makes you a legal fiction in which debts are floated on the seas of maritime law. You're absolutely flippin' correct on that assumption. And it's not an assumption, it's actually real. In fact, let me give you a really good example of that. This is funny because I never thought I would be talking about this. Most people who know this stuff will not speak of it publicly. I am dead serious. No one's going to tell you about this, but let me give you an example of how that is true, what Brent said. When a ship comes into the shore and it docks, it's technically docking at what they call a berth. It's leaving from a berth. Did you know that? It's spelled Berth. However, it also, when a ship leaves its berth, it's sailing along what? What's on the sides? Banks. They're all water words. And if you follow that rabbit hole, you're going to see that everything from your birth certificate all the way down how you deal with the court system is based on maritime law. And it's indeed true that if that every record that has your name in all caps makes you a legal fiction, which means you don't even exist as a human being. You are just a number. Isn't that crazy? You're just a number, which is another reason why I hold Bitcoin. I'm not just a number. I have my own wallet. No one can touch it. So these are important things to kind of consider. But yes, Brent, you're absolutely right. And I can bear witness to that because all the definitions of everything you need to know about legal fictions is in the actual law books, and you can find it. And it's true. Absolutely true. Think of it this way. When you go to court, did you know that the doors of the courtroom are actually called the floodgates? And that when you enter the courtroom, you are literally treated as a vessel? It's true. 100%. I know people won't believe it, but it's true. Next time I stream, I'll put a video in the link that is pretty interesting to watch on that subject. But it's true. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a song that nobody requested while I was on tour, but that's fine. But it's considered Abox's definitive Christmas song, even though the song is not a Christmas song. But for some reason, maybe it's the bells or whatever it is, everybody thinks of it as a Christmas song. So I'm going to leave you with that one, and I will hopefully see you before the year ends. But if not, have an amazing holiday, all of you. Have an amazing Christmas or however you celebrate. Have an amazing new year. I wish nothing but the best for you. And if you need me, reach out. I'm on Twitter, at endpop on Twitter, Definitely, you can see that I'll answer the chats on YouTube, especially. I've been going back and trying to answer every single person that leaves a comment on the video. So when I post this tomorrow, or when it posts tomorrow, leave me a bunch of comments because it really helps, and like the video and all that stuff. And I will definitely chat with you on the YouTube. So on the YouTube, God, I sound so so OG on that. On the YouTube thing, that app. No, but in all seriousness, we are going to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. It is my goal to reach it in 2023 without a doubt, and I'm going to reach it. You'll see. It's going to grow like crazy. Cuz I have a lot of plans with the art stuff and all that to kind of bring everything up. And Abox is going to be so busy next year. I already know it. So it's going to be an interesting time. So, anyways, I'm going to leave you with this last song, and I will see you next time. Moon overhead. And here we go. Such a cold day.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?